Order City Council, September 12th, 2024. Yeah. Start with pledge of allegiance. Pledge of allegiance. Here.
Alderman McGee.
Present.
Alderman Carr. Here. Alderman Roll.
Here.
Alderman Johnson. Alderman Montoya.
We need a motion to approve Alderman Roll by Alderman Fairwell, and Alderman Key. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I'm going to jump ahead to the pertinent folks that regard finances, and we'll jump back to the public stuff. So I'll jump down to the mayor's report under A. The motion to approve payroll for October 25th, 2024, in the amount of $468,166.06. Is there a motion? Alderman Carr, second Alderman Montoya. On the question? Clerk, please do the roll call.
Alderman Fairwell.
Aye.
Alderman McGee.
Aye.
Alderman Carr.
Aye.
Alderman Roll.
Aye.
Alderman Johnson. I'm sorry. Alderman Montoya.
Carries under B, we need a motion to approve payroll for November 8th, 2024, in the amount of $463,123.70. Is there a motion? Motion by Alderman Fairwell, second by Alderman Carr. On the question? Clerk, please do the roll call.
Alderman Fairwell.
Aye.
Alderman McGee.
Aye.
Alderman Carr.
Aye.
Alderman Roll.
Aye.
Alderman Montoya.
Aye.
5 ayes.
Receiving a motion to approve accounts payable dated November 13th, 2024, in the amount of $759,714.04. Is there a motion? Alderman Fairwell, second Alderman McGee. On the question? Clerk, please do the roll call.
Alderman Fairwell.
Aye.
Alderman McGee.
Aye.
Alderman Carr.
Aye.
Alderman Roll.
Aye.
Alderman Montoya.
Aye.
5 ayes, Your Honor.
I do not have a name yet for the library board appointments, so that'll be fixed at the next meeting. Under E, a resolution of the city of Blue Island, Illinois, to authorize and approve an agreement with the Illinois Law Enforcement Alarm System, ILEAS. Is there a motion? First by Alderman Carr, second by Alderman McGee. On the question? Clerk, please do the roll call.
Alderman Fairwell.
Aye.
Alderman McGee.
Aye.
Alderman Carr.
Aye.
Alderman Roll.
Aye.
Alderman Montoya.
Aye.
5 ayes.
Jump down to city treasurer. And the reason why I'm doing this, just so the public knows, is that we need to have 5 votes, and I know all the rules short on time. So we're just knocking out some of these while I have 5 votes. And the final one would be under number 10, city treasurer report.
I need a motion to approve the October 2024 treasurer's report.
For a motion, Alderman Montoya, second by Alderman Fairwell. On the question? Clerk, please do the roll call.
Alderman Fairwell.
Aye.
Alderman McGee.
Aye.
Alderman Carr.
Aye.
Alderman Roll.
Aye.
Alderman Montoya. 5 ayes, Your Honor.
Thank you. That concludes the financial votes, and we'll go back to the order of the agenda under presentation of general proceedings. We need a motion to approve the city council minutes from October 22nd, 2024, regular city council meeting. Is there a motion? Alderman Fairwell, second Alderman Montoya. On the question? Clerk, please do the roll call.
Alderman Fairwell.
Aye.
Alderman McGee.
Aye.
Alderman Carr.
Aye.
Alderman Roll still with us? Alderman Montoya.
Aye.
4 ayes, Your Honor.
Public comment. As a reminder, the public comment period is not a time for dialogue. The purpose of the public comment period is for the mayor and the aldermen of the city to receive input from their community. It is in fact a one-way communication with the city council. The city administration and department heads are available for discussions after the meeting. Is there any public comment?
Hey, good evening, Mayor, and also to our council members. This is Ollie Clements, representing Mission Covenant Church. Wanted to share with you that we're having a food drive that's going to benefit the Salvation Army, and we'll complete that on Friday of this week. That's the 15th of November. We've also begun a toy drive that's also going to benefit the Salvation Army and their Angel Tree program, and that process will be completed early December. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Sarah Segura. I am the program coordinator for the Blue Island Robins Neighborhood Network. I am here today because the Department of Digital Equity for Cook County selected Blue Island and Robins to offer our community residents 300 free laptops and 200 hotspots. We will be doing the event at the Rita Center on the 21st of November from 3 to 6. I've provided the information to the city clerk. So if you have any residents that would benefit from the program, you can either refer them to the Blue Island Robins Neighborhood Network, or you can refer them to our city clerk. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any public comment? Any other public comment? Moving on, under new business, the proclamation we move to the following meeting based on the Davis family availability. They plan to come to the next meeting, so we'll be then. Going down the agenda, there are mayor's announcements and comments. Nothing big new to report other than the major infrastructure improvements will probably grind to an end very soon with the asphalt companies closing for the season. Our company that is contracted doing some of our streets still feels they finish most of it. And if not, any little bit that's left will be done first thing in the spring. Alleys were started. I'm sure they're not going to get anywhere near finishing because they want to start the spring, but they have started and they're going to go also until the alley asphalt plants close. So those are two bigger announcements. I'll jump down to city clerk. This is where you want to do your.
Yes, I just want to thank everybody that participated in this Scarecrow contest. I went to 10 schools and over several hundred students voted out of the winners for tonight. Great.
Whatever you tell me. Okay, all right. So Blue Island Scarecrow contest, third place, the Knicker family. They here? Thank you. Second place, the Bez family. Yeah.
It was fun.
We had this exact conversation last year. Coming in.
All right, thank you. Over here. First place was the Lagadillo family. The officials, Alder Montoya. Alder McGee, second place. Whoever. Alvin Roll got first place in the Scarecrow contest. City departments, third place, golf course. Thank you. Second place, fire department. Yeah. In there somewhere. All right, thank you. First place, building department. All right, thank you. All right, groups, category third place, Guildhouse. Guildhouse. Thank you. Second place, Up House. All right, thank you. Blue Cap, first place.
Was wearing, so. Big deal for her to be here tonight. Thank you. Sit next to there. Tell Anna to sit next to there. Thank you. Virgil.
All right, thank you. Hang on to the side. Sure, thank you. Third place, business, Corona Realty. Corona Realty. Thank you. More. Thank you.
Thank you.
Second place, the Lyric Theater. Lyric Theater. First place, State Farm. Madam. All right, organizations, third place, Blue Island Chamber of Commerce. All right, thank you, thank you. Second place, community organization, the Blue Island Forestry Board. Favor. All right, thank you. First place in community organizations, the Blue Island Arts Alliance. All right, thank you. We have stakes here for anybody that wants them. We want to thank everybody for participating. It's growing every year. What do we have total this year? Over 40 scarecrows throughout the community. So thank you, everybody. Our administration.
Just a reminder that we have one element of our website redesign that we have not completed yet, and that is your headshots. So, but on the plus side, we do have a police officer who also has some photography ability, and so he's been doing some stuff for us for some other things. So rather than try to, I think ideally would be if we have all 10 members of the council and everything, that we just pick a night, either December, January, something where we just set reminders to wear your best Sunday dress. But also what we can do for anyone who can't make it that night is leave this, we'll set it up like here in the training center here and just leave it there for a few days. And then you can schedule time with the photographer whenever they're, either coming on or off shift. So, but yeah, other than that, still awaiting our audit, should be done pretty much very soon here. We're in November. Then we will be, once that is done, we'll be rounding third on, beginning the appropriations process there. So if you have any questions about that, let me know.
Thank you. We have the fire department presentation.
So just real quick, as we talked about previously, in this term, we had a change in the structure of government, which has had a lot of positives in terms of efficiency and our ability to get things done. But one of the things that some of the aldermen had remarked on is that absent the committee process, wanted to have some more direct communication from department heads about what their departments are working on, what the some overall view of things. We tend to do this with every department and just kind of utilize our time that way. So we did police department last month, we're doing fire department, and we'll move into public works and other areas as well, so.
Good afternoon, guys. How are you? Thanks for letting me talk. We'll get into it real quick. I just have about 15 quick slides. I did this for the fourth ward watch committee, so I apologize if I'm duplicating everything. Just go over a real quick overview of the whole fire department. I'm leaving stuff out, so if there's any questions or concerns, if you guys want me to jump more in anything, please speak up and I'll explain it, or send me an email. I could get you more support for whatever we're talking about here. So right now, the way the city, sorry. There we go. All right, so we're graded by ISO. ISO is a private entity that gives us an overall grade for how well we can put out fires, right? It goes into everything from dispatching, training, documentation, how old our fleet is, our water infrastructure, which the hydrants are dispatching. It goes from 1 through 10, 10 being the worst, 1 being the best. It's a golf score. So we are at ISO 3 as we sit right now. Our goal is always to get us to a lower score. The lower score would lower the residents' insurance rates our call volume, see our call volume here, 2022, 4,700 calls, 2023, 4,300 calls. This year, we're on track to do the same rate, around 4,300 calls. The ALS update. We went ALS in June 1st of 2023. It's been going very well. We have lots of letters of recommend accommodations from IDPH. It's going very well. We got 7 gold stars. Again, I can get more into that if you guys want to see the calls or go deeper into that. With the ALS update, we got new stretchers, Lucas devices, which is essentially a CPR machine that does CPR for you, which takes essentially an extra set of hands. King Vision, you can see right here, that opens up your airway to get so you can intubate the patient. Operationally, we've improved tremendously. We added the battalion chiefs, we added additional manpower, we reduced their minimum staffing. The battalion chiefs allows me not to be here 24/7, right? So if there's an issue on hand, I just call them up, they handle it. When I'm away from my office, they respond to calls and act on my behalf. It's worked out very well. Also, since the new contract, we've raised our minimum staffing from 6, 7 to 8. So next year we'll be at 8. So what this does is lowers our ISO score, or has the potential to, and makes us operate a lot more efficiently at fires. So back here, we'll go back. As you see here, these are all the calls that we went through. It's kind of hard to see here. I have a handout. This is also all on the public drive, so you guys can see it if I'm missing something. These are all the call outs. These are all the box alarms. So anytime it gets to a level to where Blue Island can't handle it, this is reported here. Also, I gave all the aldermen and the mayor a list of all the stuff operationally that we do. This goes over our daily staffing. So the first sheet will be all our daily staffing. So if we're staffed at 7, each one of those calls, it tells the rig how many people go out, what they're doing for that situation. The second one is the second sheet is a it's called a box card, right? So we use these box cards to handle situations. So if Blue Island companies are gone, it'll move on down the line to Cal Park, Posen, Midlow, and so forth. And as the incident progresses and gets more and more difficult, or we're not winning our fight or winning our battle, we call for more people, and it sends all these people out to our call. Third sheet is, we'll get into that once we get to our finance. I believe that's it for operations. Any questions on operations? So, the way we kind of schedule this and build our box cards, they're done yearly. We have benchmarks we try to meet. So if it's a small, single-family home, we think we can handle it with 14 or 15 firefighters. That's how we build it in. You know, larger scale operation like a school, commercial building like Caliper Collision, we're gonna need a lot more people to do the work, right? So that's all built into this. Staffing, we currently have 31 firefighters. That's including 3 battalion chiefs, 3 lieutenants. We have 1 more getting processed. We're currently down 5 firefighters. We have 1 getting processed right now. It's been very difficult. We've been having 4 or 5 tests a year just to try to keep up with the minimum standard that we have with our CBA. This could be from anything from us being ALS to not having the resources there. COVID stopped all the EMS programs, so it put us behind, but we're eventually going to catch up down the road here. This is all of our apparatus. This is again something that ISO looks at. This is all of our equipment. So we have 3 engines, 1 truck, 3 ambulances, 3 chief buggies or chase cars, and a fire prevention vehicle. The reason why this is important is ISO takes the average age, right? So like right now, our average age is, I believe it's 13 years old. When we took over as this new city council, we were at 13.5 years old as our average age of our fleet. We're currently at 10.5 years old average, and then next year with all the ordering that we've done, getting a new ambulance, a new engine, we're going to be at 7.5. So we're improving our not only our staffing, our operations, but also our equipment, right? Testing. So we have a lot of stuff that we have to be compliant with NFPA. We have to test our hose, our ladders. We have to do fit tests. Essentially, that's where we wear an air mask, and we make sure that when we're moving around, it's got a good seal. Pump test. We have to pump test all of our engines, make sure that they're meeting the requirements that need to be met. We have annual foot scopes for our firefighters. We have Con Ed we have to meet. We have minimum requirements we have to meet for training for all levels of firefighters, whether it be EMT, basic, paramedic, firefighters, lieutenants, and battalion chiefs. They all have minimum requirements they have to meet yearly. Things we've accomplished recently, going to ALS, we've increased our staffing, increased our command presence, improved our stations. We've abated most of the asbestos at Station 1 and Station 2. We've repaired plumbing. We've repaired all of our HVAC. We've got new air vac systems, which essentially takes diesel particulates and takes it out of the air, so our firefighters are safer. It's not getting into our gear, it's not getting into our skin. Overall, taking a liability away from the city. Future plans. Right now, I don't know if you guys have been down Fulton and Chatham. We got Connex boxes down there. We're looking to build a training site. It falls into a TIF district, so we have funds available. We've also raised about $25,000 as the firefighter union. So hopefully that this year we can get that going. We've taken the ES area since we are growing and we have more firefighters working every day. We took the ES area and we're making hopefully that into administrative offices this year to make more room for the firefighters to do their daily functions and maybe break up the station a little bit more to make it more functional for us as a department. Things we're looking to do in the future, increase our EOP, incident operation plan, or emergency operation plan. That's through FEMA. Essentially, we're going to be asking you guys for a lot with that as well. It's a plan if any incident happens, natural disaster, it holds everybody accountable, right? So we have to do our thing as a firefighter, as fire departments. The police have to do their thing as a police department. It's also going to take city government as well. So there might be some FEMA training coming up for you guys. It'll be basic, But essentially, they'll make so we have a continuity of government if something big was to happen and, you know, the mayor's out of town, or maybe his house was impacted by this event, who steps in, and there's a chain of command, and we could build an incident as it grows. So. SOPs, our SOPs are a little bit outdated from 2018. We're looking to update those. That takes time. There's, you know, over 500, 600. We have something for every event to get a happen in the fire service or personal staffing, operational. There's a bunch. Things we have to do, and things that are coming up, we're gonna have to renegotiate our CBA that's coming to an end at the end of 2025. Bring our firefighters up to industry standards by training, testing, by schooling, getting them back up to, with the new state fire marshal, we have, continued education that has to be obtained. So we're just trying to get them up. It's more documentation than anything, but we're a little bit far behind on that. So we're trying to get that back up to, our standard. We have to update our firehouse functioning and alerting. Currently, we use Orland Dispatch, but sometimes the tones aren't coming through to our fire stations, so we're a little bit outdated with that. It's not just a Blue Island issue, it's our whole division, but we're working through that as well. The grants we applied for this year already, the Larry Foundation, we looked for seat cameras. Essentially, that's a personal thermal imaging camera for each one of our firefighters in each one of their seats. It's about $14,000. The Gary Sinise, we're looking for monitors, so that's a 4-gas meter, essentially what you take into a CO leak or any kind of a chemical spill. Also gas tracks that smells for natural gas, propane, anything of that sort. For the state fire marshal, we put in for trench rescue. All of our rope rescue stuff is becoming out of date, so we need to replace it. It's very expensive. There's some new standards, of course, so we're going through that right now. But we put it through that through state fire marshal small tools grant. Firehouse subs, we put in for that Lucas device, that CPR device for the new ambulance that we're getting in 2025, May of 2025. We have everything else except for the power load stretchers and the Lucas device, so we thought we'd put in for that. Then there's a couple small ones. Harbor Freight, we get $150 every year by station maintenance stuff. And then we have some big ones coming up for a station renovation in 2025 through state fire marshal, and then all the FEMA grants. They literally just opened up this week, so we're looking to purchase, possibly put in for another fire engine. Fire prevention, we have 2 fire prevention officers, Joe Schmidt and Adam Suzuki. There's a lot to do. The city's growing, it's moving forward. So they're just getting caught up on yearly inspections for most commercial buildings or businesses right now. We did take on this year, all 9 of our schools. We are now doing our inspections for all the schools, which has always been done by a state fire marshal in the past. So we are making progress, but it's slow. This year we've gone to post-COVID, it's kind of opened up. Everybody's kind of, I think, itching to get back into normal. So we have been doing a lot of city events, block parties, stuff like that, church events, school events. And then we also do our share going to, unfortunately, some fallen firefighter more memorials. That's it. You guys have any questions or concerns?
Chief, just one, I know, you went really into the weeds here, but overall, give us an update since this is televised, the biggest transition under your leadership from basic services to ALS. What the difference is in that?
So the difference between ALS and BLS, it's tremendous, right? So not only was it a huge commitment by the city to go ALS because of the equipment. So there's a lot of life-saving equipment. For us, it's been operationally very difficult. So like now we're dealing with like narcotics. So there's over 60 drugs we give. I believe there's 10 narcotics. So day-to-day stuff has changed dramatically for us. So like every day we have to check that narcotics box. If we use one, we gotta, document, make sure we're doing the correct paperwork so we're not liable if something was to happen. But the biggest transition was definitely going ALS. It's been a commitment on every level. Financial, there's just unknown. It's we're the first department since this GMT started, this ground emergency medical transport. So there's some difficulties with that, with the ambulance billing. We're running this snag with that, but it's been great. We've had a lot of good calls. The guys are really responsive. They're doing really well with the calls. So. Yes, sir.
Kind of along those lines, one probably kind of small aspect of the improvements you've made, which have been many. The new ambulance, the powered stretcher, which looks almost kind of like an extravagance in a way, but it's not. Could you explain the benefits of that? It's really something.
Yeah, I mean, so since we've had the power load stretchers, so real quick, before we had power load stretchers, right? So this goes into ALS as well. Before we had power load stretchers, our stretchers were from the seventies. They are literally, it was dangerous, right? But since we've had these power load stretchers, not only does it help the patients, because we could give a lot better care, it's a lot more stable. You get in a lot more places, they're lit. We haven't had any firefighter injuries in EMS. So that was usually our number one reason for guys getting hurt, right? Twisted ankles, torn ACLs, stuff like with moving patients and maneuvering that stretcher. We haven't had one, knock on wood, one injury caused by an EMS run. Thank you. Just been your mind, so.
I'm telling you more. ALS, you can save lives on scene immediately, where before, last year,
Yeah.
all we can do is pick you up, throw you in the box and bring you to a hospital. We can't touch you.
Correct.
So
So
now, if you're dying of a heart attack, you guys can try to save that person before 20 minutes before you get any support. I just wanted to bring it down to the level people understand. Tremendous improvement in the department under your leadership.
So with going ALS, so before we would literally pick you up, put you in an ambulance, do single person CPR, right? So one guy doing CPR and transporting you to the closest hospital, which used to be Metro South. We got by with that for a long time. Now we're pushing life-saving drugs immediately, and we call it pit stop CPR. So now not only are we responding with an ambulance, we're responding with an ambulance and an engine. Everybody knows the role when they get into the rig, right? So it comes down to documenting who's pushing what medications, who's intubating, who's doing CPR. It's very structured. They call it pit crew CPR. So it's pretty impressive what these guys are doing. So there's so BLS, we were allowed to give 4 drugs, and one of them was oxygen. So how hard is it to do that? Now we're allowed to give 60, and a lot of those are life-saving. So they're given immediately.
Any other Alderman comments, concerns, questions?
Good job.
Thank you, Chief.
All right, guys.
Great job, thanks.
Thank you.
Currently, all the management announcements, reports, or comments. Now, we do have a executive session we need a motion to go to. Motion by Alderman Gretel, second Alderman Dean, all in favor, say aye. All right, returning to regular session, motion to return to regular session. Alderman Toya, second Alderman Farnwell, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Discuss eminent probable litigation and real estate concerns. Is there a motion to adjourn? Alderman Farnwell, Alderman Carr, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Before you guys leave,